Okay. I just got through. Let me fix the camera. I just got through looking at my review on Maleficent, and I was kind of all over the place with that one. Excuse me, because I did not know what to say. I didn't even look presentable at all. I still don't look presentable, but I look better than how I looked when I did that. Oh man. So I totally apologize for my Maleficent review. I should have got stuff way out faster than what I did, but people should possibly already know now. If it's a long video, as with anything, of course, something like I do with the series reviews, like Teen Titans Go or My Little Pony, or whatever I'm reviewing, whatever TV show I'm reviewing, of course, it's going to be long. But when I'm doing a standard vlog review like this over a recent movie that just came out, and it's literally over 15 minutes, that means that there's something wrong, okay? It means there was a lot of problems with it, or there was some stuff that I really didn't like, or I wanted to get off my chest. If it's anything that's shorter than 18 minutes, it's probably something that's passable for the most part, but if it goes over that, then I have a lot to say. I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, oh god, I have a lot to say about this, and it wasn't supposed to be that long. I just go off on a tangent, and I just start talking for too long. Like I'm doing now. I'm supposed to be reviewing this and talking about Godzilla, but I'm still talking about Maleficent. It's amazing. It went over into the next video. Fuck. Alright, so, with that being said, let's talk about Godzilla. And I'm just going to go ahead and say this. I'm not the biggest Godzilla fan, because at the time when I was a little kid and I used to actually watch the old Godzillas, I would see them when they used to come on television over here. I never left the house and try to rent a movie or something like that, or there wasn't a lot of them available here at the time. Of course, now we can get them no problem because of the internet and everything like that. It's gotten way bigger, more popular. But at the time, it was kind of hard finding certain Godzilla movies, and even if I wanted to watch them all, I couldn't. I've only seen like 3 of the old school ones. I can't even remember the names of them. And then I saw the 90s version, which even as a kid I didn't like. And I've seen that multiple times, and I was just like, I'm really trying to like this, especially since it's Godzilla, but, as a kid, I just, I was okay with it. Let me say I didn't like it. I was okay with it. When I got older, I said, okay, you know what? This sucks. Even in comparison to the old ones, this is, like, really bad. So, now we got Godzilla 2014, and is this really a Godzilla movie? This is a movie that's featuring Godzilla, even though that he takes up the title of the movie. You don't see him as much as you want to, or yeah, we'll catch glimpses of him. So, everybody who's seen this already talked about it. They're even planning to do a sequel. I think after a week that the first one was out, they said, okay, we're going to go ahead and try to do a sequel. Alright, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. I didn't see it. I was supposed to go to the movies and see it with a friend of mine, but it was actually canceled, so we never got a chance to take a look at it. So, I finally ended up seeing it by myself. I was supposed to go see Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. That didn't work out either, so I was like, fuck it. I haven't seen Godzilla yet. I haven't reviewed it. Let me check out Godzilla. So, I checked out Godzilla, and once again, same thing with Maleficent, or even if I said this in the Maleficent review, which I think I did right in the beginning, that they both have that thing where there's some stuff that I like, and then there are some stuff that I don't. Number one, I'm just going to come right off the back and say this, because I know people probably heard it from other people already. It's kind of hard not comparing this to something like Pacific Rim, which was also a recent monster movie. what separates Pacific Rim from this is two things, actually. Pacific Rim was sort of like the monster movie that based itself off of the full-on Japanese influenced culture, like giant robots, Robotech, manga type dealings, as well as how the monsters came to our world and everything like that. Yeah, that was more Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim was more on the, like I said, Japanese influenced fantasy type thing, while Godzilla was more on the reality based, like saying, oh, this could happen, like Godzilla could exist, you know, if these circumstances was just slightly changed and put into place. Whereas Pacific Rim, that can never happen, that would never exist. The splitting of dimensions and everything, that is complete bullshit. You don't believe any of that. You know, you see that as sort of like a Gundam-ish anime type thing. Whereas this one, you do see more as a realistic type thing. Does that make it better than Pacific Rim? No. Because to be honest, I think I like Pacific Rim a little bit more than this. And there's only one thing that I can possibly say which Pacific Rim did better. And that has to be that there's actually fucking monster fights in it. We don't get into a big fight to the end. You know, we just get a glimpse of the fight beginning and then the aftermath of it. There was even one time where Godzilla and the monster just look at each other and then we see the aftermath. What? Why? Why didn't we see the fights? For a movie with Godzilla, there's not that much fucking Godzilla in the movie. And that is enough to piss some off us old Godzilla fans. Like I said, I'm not even the biggest fan. I only see like 3 of the old movies, plus the 90s version, and I'm not even considering that a movie. We can all agree that this is better than the 90s version by leagues better. Story-wise, it's better. The acting for the humans are better. The look of Godzilla is better. I don't know what the hell that 90s shit was. And you could say, oh, well, you know, it was 1997 or so, right? The CGI is outdated. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the fucking design on that thing. I just don't really care for it. This one is much better. This one actually does look like kind of a mixture of the old one, but yet putting its little twist on it as well. So it's looks like what I meant by the old one was like the guy in type of rubber suit type thing, but you can tell that it's CGI as well, and he also looks like a dinosaur. Love the design of Godzilla on this. If you're wondering, he does do the atomic blast in here. Fucking awesome, man. Okay, there could be a good Dragon Ball Z movie. We could get a good live-action Dragon Ball Z movie, and I'm not talking about that evolution shit. I'm talking about something good. Because the way he does the blast in here, oh, looks fucking awesome. Doesn't do as much damage as you would expect, like in the Japanese version, but it's still good. Okay, so let's talk about the story here. So, Bryan Cranston's in the movie, and if you guys have seen my recent videos, you know I've finally finished watching Breaking Bad, or I was watching Breaking Bad at the time when I made Teen Titans Go Part 2 a month ago. I said, oh yeah, I'm sorry it took me so long to get to this. I was actually watching Avatar: Last Airbender and Breaking Bad. I finished both series and I fucking loved them. So you got Bryan Cranston in here, and as well you have his son. And so he loses his wife early on through a nuclear accident. But he doesn't think it's an accident because, well, they worked at a nuclear power plant, so anything can happen. But he doesn't think that it's an accident. He thinks that the government's trying to cover it up. So, of course, he stays in Japan and he tries to figure it out. His son joins the army. He moves on. He gets a wife and a kid who are much more likable than he is. I'm sorry. And I know this guy's... I don't know if this guy's probably trying because I can't tell. He is dull. He is dull. And Bryan Cranston, he does so well at doing action and drama and stuff like that. And, you know... After seeing him in Breaking Bad and seeing him in a couple of other stuff, I really like his acting. He is like literally one of my favorite actors now. Him and Aaron Paul, oddly enough. And seeing him in here for the first half of the movie, I'm not giving this away, but if you think I am spoilers, he dies. He dies pretty early on. This is like 35 minutes into a movie, and this movie is 2 hours and 6 minutes. So that's a lot of time without Bryan in the movie. And even when he dies, his son is just like, yeah, you know. And then the next scene, he's like, yeah, I'm okay. I don't like this guy's acting. It's literally like Tobey Maguire Pleasantville type shit. And I love that movie. And I like Tobey Maguire too, but God, this guy, he shows no emotion to me. He is so dull, and he's the main character, or at least it moves on from his father onto him, and not a good, man. You know, this is kind of a, for people that play video games, it's kind of a Red Dead Redemption situation, if you know what I mean. And you get that feel, and you're just like, oh, I don't want him. I don't like this guy. You know, there was a point where I was like, please, monster, kill him. It didn't kill him that time, so I was really disappointed. I wanted the main character to die. That's how crazy it was. You also have Ken Watanabe, who's playing this Japanese scientist, and that's good movie. That's good. Nice to see another American-made Godzilla that actually, hey, references the Japanese instead of referencing the Russians for some reason. Not to be mean or anything to different races, but let's give credit to where it's due, okay? It's their monster we're messing with. I mean, they even call him Gojira in the movie. We call him Godzilla. Perfect, man. Yes. Love that little subtlety there. There's even references to Mothra. And actually, there's a couple of references to Mothra. It's not just one. There is one big one. There's actually a scene where Bryan Cranston and his son is going back to their old house in Japan, because that's where they used to live. That's where the power plant was, and the whole incident with his wife dying from that. Also a spoiler, but she dies like 10 minutes or 12 minutes in. So, it doesn't matter. They go into their house, and then there's like this little fish tank there. But, of course, there's no water there, and there's actually a moth or cocoon there. And at the bottom it says Mothra in tape. I was like, okay, nice subtlety there. That's pretty freaking awesome. There's even a newscasting going on with Godzilla on the television, which seems like that's where we mostly see him at. And it says that the king of all monsters, with a question mark, but nice subtlety there. Love it. And this stuff is like in the background, or even if they put it in the foreground, they will focus on the background. That's how you do it. That's how you put Easter eggs in a movie. Okay, you don't just like slap it in your face, you know. You don't just slap it on like that and say, oh yeah, you see what we did there? We referenced the old version. Can you do it a little bit more subtly? And they do great with that. So the Easter eggs in this movie are actually hard to find. You gotta look around for them. So old Godzilla fans will spot them right away. I really enjoyed that. With that being said, there is no Mothra in this movie because it seemed like he's being born through the nuclear, collecting from the nuclear. How you call that thing? Nuclear outcast, whatever. The extra. Damn it. Fallout. Nuclear fallout. Thank you. I freaking remember. Thank you, God. I remembered. The nuclear fallout, he seems to be collecting power from that. And I guess he's going to be in the next one for the most part. At least that's what they're saying. So yeah, no Mothra like fully in this fighting Godzilla. No Rodan. No King Ghidorah. You know, no classic movie monsters. Basically, he's fighting. Some people say the Cloverfield monster, and that might be a pretty good comparison. Actually, that would be pretty neat if those two movies were connected after all these years, but no, they wouldn't do that. Do something that clever. He's fighting monsters who are basically kind of like giant bugs, but aliens at the same time. I don't really know what they are, but he's fighting kaiju. Okay, there we go. He's fighting the monsters from Pacific Rim. How you like that? So he's fighting these monsters from Pacific Rim, and Godzilla's a good guy, even though I swear he killed at least 100 people on an island off the off in Japan just from rising up out of the ocean, and then the swarm just comes over people, and I swear it kills them. We don't get any confirmation whether they died or not. But Godzilla doesn't necessarily just go around and eat people. No, he's actually there to hunt the monsters and fight them. There's even a part when people are cheering for him, and I really like that. I'm glad that Godzilla is that form now, rather than it be like the 90s version when he was the killer and everything like that. I didn't like that. Even as a kid, I didn't like that. I always seen like Godzilla as the hero, and or sort of like, even though he's this destructive force, he can help us, and especially if we let him. There's even a little symbolism in there about we should let nature take its course, which is kind of like, there's a little bit of the Jurassic Park influence there, even with the buildup of showing Godzilla. Very Jurassic Park-ish, so anybody who likes Jurassic Park is gonna love that. Man, I was getting the feels, man, the feels. I was so immersed into that. I was like, yes. And then when Godzilla did the optic blast, I was like, yes, yes. Oh my god. Oh, brings back memories. Memories of the old Godzilla, memories of Jurassic Park. So anybody who's into that, you're gonna love that. With that being said, there's only really two big actors that stand out, and that's Ken Watanabe and Bryan Cranston, who gives like both great performances. Bryan is just fantastic in every scene he's in, and he's loving it. I'm loving it. I wish there was more of him. I wish he was throughout the entire movie, but unfortunately they said, oh, we're edgy. We're going to kill off a good, not just a good character, but remove a great actor from the film. Ken Watanabe, like I said, he plays a Japanese scientist, and he's good. I love him too. He's there throughout the whole movie, and when he was on screen, you know, with him in the military, you got the military commander, and you know, they talk about Hiroshima and everything like that. That was very awkward, by the way. And nuclear testing, and one of them just wants to blow Godzilla and the rest of them up, while the other one says, "No, maybe he can help us. Maybe we should just let them duke it out, and then that'll be it." I like that. I like that confrontation that they had going on, but yet at the same time, they kind of, you know, they respected each other. They didn't say, "Oh well, you know, I don't want you on my ship while we're chasing Godzilla, and we're losing him on radar." How'd you lose Godzilla on radar? But I don't want you here or anything like that. No, they was actually helping out each other, and they needed advice from each other. That was great. It's just every time they switch to this fucking kid that's supposed to be Cranston's son, this guy was dull. I really didn't like him. If he's not in the second movie, that would be great. If you can get some other lead or a different character, kind of like they did with Transformers. I hate to reference this, kind of like how they did with Transformers, changing it from Shia LaBeouf to Mark Wahlberg. Do something like that. Actually put Mark Wahlberg in his place. That would be great. Mark Wahlberg in a Godzilla movie. But for what I got, I thought it was pretty decent. Like I said, just like with Maleficent, I'm gonna have to give it, if I have to rate it, I'm gonna have to give it 2.5 out of 4, only because of that kid. He is so, the main character's dull. I'm sorry, he's not interesting at all. He barely shows any emotion. He just seems like he's just reading this off of a script. Doesn't really seem like he's being that person. He's just playing a character. This is literally like a type of situation. You could have just grabbed a random guy off the street and told him, say, hey, read these lines in this script and you can be in this movie. Maybe if he makes a sequel, they'll do better. If they make a sequel, he'll do better. But for right now, I enjoyed more of what his wife was going through than him, and they focus on him a lot. They do. I cared more about what was going on with the military and stuff like that. And my advice to this movie, seriously, get either a different lead guy to play this character. I can't remember his name, some Ford, or get like a new family entirely. I think the wife and the kid did fine. That is not that kid's mother. She's like 22. She might be older than that, but she looks pretty young. I think they do fine. I think they do real well for the little screen time that they got. Bryan Cranston was great. The Japanese scientist was great too. All the Japanese scientists felt genuine. You know, everybody felt like they was their character for the most part. I felt like these people was in the military. There was a generic gun-ho, like, all right, let's do this. I'm just here for this scene, so let's get out of here. I'm just here to shout orders. I'll probably die later on type person. So you didn't really care for them. And this kid, he should have been a background character. I'm sorry. He should not have been a main character. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on Godzilla 2014. I enjoyed it. Same with Maleficent. I'm glad I saw it. They could have changed a few things. The things that they did change, I was actually fine with. This was the first time I was invested in what the humans were doing. But advice here: more monster battles. Okay, that's something that Pacific Rim did better than you. I got a lot of monster fights. When I want to go see a monster movie, how about some monsters actually fighting each other? And don't leave it for the last second. Because when they did fight at the last second, you did great. That was great. At the end of the movie, when Godzilla was fighting the winged beast, that was awesome. The way he defeated them. I just gave that away. Spoiler, but guess what? Movie's been out for a while, and you pretty much know what's going to happen. You know they're going to win. We're going to win. And I don't know. Pacific Rim just did that better. Although when this movie did get down to the fight, it was good. It was good. And people might say, oh, it was worth the wait. I wanted to see more. I'm sorry. I'm just going to leave it at that. There should have been more fights in here, monster battles in here. I know there was the same 2 monsters, but guess what? Somebody should have fought them. We should have seen the other battles. Even them destroying the city would have been interesting. Nope. There's a part when they're destroying the city. It goes to another scene. There's a part when they're about to fight. It cuts to something else. Don't do that for the sequel. Please don't do that for the sequel. Otherwise, I would just say, okay, this was just one movie, and you shouldn't make another one. But I actually want another one. Godzilla is back, man. And I am ready to watch some more Godzilla movies. Let's see what the new millennium can do. With that being said, you had some improvements to make, man. But for the improvements that you did do good on, as far as having the humans be fucking interesting for once, kudos. Kudos. Even slightly more interesting than Pacific Rim. Well, alright guys, I'll just leave it at that. If you want to see monster fights, it's like plain old monster fights. If you're more on the anime, Japanese influence, go watch Pacific Rim. If you want to see a more kind of central and reality based, like something that could possibly happen, and you want to see something that focuses more on what the military was doing at the time of Godzilla, doing this all the cool stuff in the background that you don't get to see, watch Godzilla. At least when the ending comes up, you'll be like, yeah, that was awesome, I want more. Nope, end of the movie, but okay. Alright guys, nice making these 2 videos. I gotta go find some more movies to check out, so I'm possibly gonna get a couple more videos out to you. Alright, not today because I'm tired, and I'm sure you can possibly tell from these 2 lazy reviews I just did. Okay, so take care, and I will see you in the next one.